I be trying to, let me see. I don't know where I want to share this to because I'm not doing any scriptures. All right, let me see. Um, Hello. I'm trying to see how, because this conversation is kind of different, I'm trying to figure out how I could share this. Like, cause I'm not reading any scriptures, but it's definitely the topic that I want to talk about is kind of spiritual in nature. But okay, so good afternoon, everyone. Hello. I'm having brunch, so this is chai, chai, coffee. I got some cinnamon, some French vanilla in there, and I have. Let me show y'all my little brunch. I gotta excuse my little table. Hold on, let me see. So right now I made some French toast and some air fried potatoes, and just some little eggs that I just threw on there. Okay, so hello. So okay, so I was having this conversation at the park yesterday, and it's kind of like the topic is kind of like describing a lot of stuff that's going on in the world right now, especially like with police brutality and just how a lot of black people have been treated. So it's so important for people to kind of know your history. I mean, I'm eating right now, so it's just kind of like just a conversation. But there is definitely a lot of articles on it, a lot of research on it, and then you can find some of this stuff like it's biblical, it's spiritual in nature. So a lot of the stuff that black people are dealing with is because in the past our ancestors had just, it's in the Bible. So I'm trying to figure out how to talk about this. Okay, so our ancestors turned away from God. Because of that, there was a curse put on our people, right? It's in Deuteronomy 28. It talks about the curses. One of the curses were that their enemies would overtake them, right? And take their children, their wives, all this stuff. So would put them into captivity. So it talks about in the scriptures how there would be the children of God will be enslaved for 400 years. They will go into 400 years of captivity. And then it talked about how they will go into captivity for 70 years in the book of Daniel. So as we're seeing all this stuff, the reason why a lot of these officers kill our people and then they're allowed to go free, they're beating these cases in the court is because first off, because of the contract. Okay, the contract was just completed in 2019. All right, so in this contract, it allowed them to treat black people, because remember, you had slaves and then you had those that were free men. Okay, but the slaves in this contract, it allowed them to treat the slaves as property. Okay, so let's say I'm a business owner, because y'all have to remember the United States is a corporation. People looking at it like it's a country. The United States of America is a corporation. It's a business. All right. When they signed the Constitution, all right, when all these people came from England and from Britain and all of that, they came here and they started a corporation. The United States is a corporation. It's a business, all right? So when they started that, they came here, they took the slaves, all right, and they used the slaves. The slaves were their property. Like you got cattle, you got horses, you got dogs, you got, they even consider wife and children of the slaves as property. Okay, these people did not consider blacks to be human beings. They considered them as cattle, as property. All right, so that's why they were able to get them to sell them. All right, so you talking about that's why you see in pictures where they got these black slaves standing on this on this stage or whatever, stop, and they're measuring. I have to call her back. I got an appointment, but I'm gonna be brief. So they're measuring, taking measurements of these people and trying to auction them off to the best bidder, okay? Because they're considered property. Now, the reason why they were able to beat these cases, when you read the law, when you get into the law, there's a clause in the law that states that black people are considered property and not human beings. That's how all these officers were able to beat those cases. Now that this 400-year contract is up and it's over with, that's why they're taking these monuments down. All these slavery monuments all over the world, that's why they're bringing them down, because the 400-year contract is over. That's why they keep wearing these hats, Make America Great Again, Make America Great Again, because they want to enslave our people again. Because our people, ignorance, if you don't know what's going on, they will definitely use your ignorance against you. All right, so you have to know the law. You have to know your history. You have to know what's going on. Just like when a man is in prison, when they lock up a black man, let's say this black man has a wife, has a kids, has a house, has a business, has cars. What they do is when you become incarcerated, you become a warden. You're a warden of the state. Now you're property of the state. You belong to the state. They strip away all your rights, and now you belong to the state. So what do they do after that? They go and they take all your goods. See, to them, this is called the spoils of war, right? Because they create this war against the children of God. They put the government takes the drugs from overseas. That's why they over there in them other countries causing war over there, because the war, they're stealing the resources, taking the resources from over there, bringing them here, taking the drugs, taking the diamonds, taking the oil, taking the gold, taking all the resources from other countries, bringing them over here, and they're profiting off of them, okay? So they take the drugs, bring them here, create a policy called war on drugs. All right, they put them in our neighborhoods. They make sure these people that qualify for these jobs can't get these jobs, make it hard for them. Okay, so because we want to force you to go out into the streets, we want to force you to commit crime, we want to marginalize you, put you in this small area with no resources, and now y'all have to fight and compete over resources. Y'all have to fight and compete for money, fight and compete for jobs. All right, while they're over here, it's the abundance of everything. You know what I'm saying? It's the abundance of everything over here, but in this small area, in this ghetto, in this projects, in this hood, we gonna make sure resources are limited. It's all a game, y'all, because of this contract that's been going on. But times are changing, y'all. The wealth, the transfer of wealth is taking place now as we speak. So y'all have to make sure y'all are in a place mentally, spiritually, just emotionally, to be prepared, to prepare yourself for the change that's coming. All right. Start working on getting yourself together. Start working on building your credit. Start working on, I guess it's, some people say don't save, but if you like to invest, just start learning about finances. Start learning about finances, about money. If you're gifted at a skill, start like working on perfecting your skills. Like now is the time to just start getting bettering and perfecting yourself, because the doors are opening. I had a dream and I saw, hey Jeff, I just saw doors opening. All right, so girl, oh Lord. So just get prepared for that. But let me go back to this warden of the state thing. So when you become a prisoner, when they lock you up and put you in jail, now you belong to the state. You're considered state property. So if you have a house, you have a car, you have a business, whatever money you got, even wife and kids, a lot of these women and children that were coming up missing, that were being kidnapped and put in these sex trafficking, because you got to remember the government is running that too. They're running the organ trafficking things, and they running the sex trafficking things. The government, they over all of that. It's really corrupt, okay? So when these men go to prison, it leaves their wives and their children vulnerable, okay? So now these people come and they start to target their wives and their children. Why? Because they consider this man is state of the property. I own this man. So whatever property belongs to this man is mine. That's their mindset. So I'm gonna take his car. I'm gonna auction. We're gonna auction the car. We're gonna auction the house. We're gonna take whatever he has because it belongs to the state. So if they have children or wife that they're interested in, then they become targets too. So a lot of these women that's coming up missing and children, where are their mothers? Where are their fathers? Where, what's going on? Like, you got to look deep into it. And I don't want to say that's all the cases, but it's a lot of the case. Just like with these children being detained, these Hispanic children that they were trying to deport back to Mexico, or all these children that they have over here at this border in these cages, that they're over there sexually harassing them children. Y'all have to see, this is all government. How can the government that are in control of putting these people in the cage, how do these kids come up missing? How are these women coming up missing? Because they have them somewhere underground in these sex trafficking rings, okay? And then killing them and harvesting their organs, y'all. We have to be prayerful, okay? Because really the black man, the colored man, is worth more than gold, silver, oil. We are worth so much money to these people. I'm telling you, they came up missing and they misplaced. They're not misplaced. They are underground, okay, somewhere being molested in a child sex ring or being sold off to the highest bidder all over the world. I'm telling you. So it's this thing is so deep, y'all. This thing, and it's so spiritual, and everything that's going on is in the Bible. If you read Deuteronomy 28 and you read the curses that were put on our people because they turned their back against God, everything that's going on is in there. So y'all, we just have to just stay prayerful. We just have to stick to God, stay close to God. And I'm telling y'all will start to see things just changing and happening in y'all lives. I love y'all. It's so deep. Like, everything that I'm talking about, these things are written or documented. I'm not just making stuff up. I'm not just coming up with no conspiracy theories. Like, all this stuff is documented and it's going on now. Like, right now, a few days ago, Clinton, like Hillary Clinton, her administration, Obama, his administration, they are on trial right now because of all this stuff, because of all the kidnapping, because of all the stuff that's been going on. Like, they're not putting it in the forefront. They don't want everybody to know what's going on right now. Right. They don't want everybody to know what's going on. So right now, everybody is rioting. They done killed an innocent black man, and the whole world just went crazy. But times are changing because, like I said, that 400-year contract is over with. So it's like, where do we go from here? Because if you don't know your history, then you're bound to repeat it again. So where do we go from here? Because if we not going back to God, then it can happen again. History can repeat itself again. So I'm praying for y'all. I love y'all. I'm not gonna hold y'all up because I did have an important phone call that just came through. I had an appointment at 3:00. She called a couple minutes early, but I'm gonna call back. So I love y'all, and just stay prayerful. I'm telling y'all, just stay prayerful. I'm praying for y'all. Keep praying for y'all people. Keep praying for times to change. Just stay close to God. That's all I can say. You saw I'm on point. Thanks for sharing. You're welcome. It was just a topic. So, when I was doing my studies, because I got a lot of notes on this, but because I was moving, like I got to find all my notes because they kind of scattered. But I had been studying this topic for a while. So, like I said, it's not just me doing conspiracy theory. Like, a lot of people be like, oh, she crazy. Here she go with this conspiracy theory stuff. No. If you keep up with what's going on in politics is like, I took politics in college. This was like, I did a double major and a minor. So my majors were communication and politics, and then my minor was dance, and then my master's degree is in something else. So I'm telling y'all, you study things like this, when you know the truth, they can't play you. When you know the law, they can't play you. When you know the scriptures, like, the Bible is spiritually, like demons, the devil can't run over you when you know the word. Just like the police can't run over you when you know the law. So if you know the law and you know the word, you're well rounded. So anyway, with that being said, I love y'all. Let me get to this appointment, and I will see y'all soon.